guys, it's your girl Chef Joya, and welcome back to my channel. Say what is vegan? We're getting ready to get into one of the best vegan recipes there is. I know you see vegan oxtails all over the internet. You see about 2 or 3 of those recipes are mine, and they are absolutely delicious. So if you ever made them, you already know. We're getting ready to get into my newest oxtail recipe, which is in my cookbook, Baby It's Just Vegan. That has my oxtail cheesesteak recipe. So we're going to take that same recipe and make it into a pizza. I mean, like I said before, it ain't no fun unless the vegans can have some. So we are getting ready to get into a recipe that's going to easily be your next favorite recipe. Whether you're vegan, thinking about vegan, got friends that's vegan, or you just want to please a crowd, this is the recipe for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because you're only going to find the most delicious vegan recipes on this channel. Say what is vegan. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, just for the record, I want to show you that I did want to make this recipe as easy as possible. So I was trying to buy some store-bought, already pre-made pizza crust, and it was not vegan. So we're going to do this semi-scratch. I also went ahead and got some semolina flour because I looked at a YouTube video and that's what they said they do. And I'm going to tell you right here, your girl does not make pizza with raw pizza dough. I just don't. I put both of those pizza doughs together and it was too big. It couldn't fit my round pan, so I decided to make it into a square, and I used my baking sheet. You see it's been through the ringer. Baby, that's called good old cooking, but it worked. I went ahead and used that, and I sprayed it with some Pam, and then I'm going to go ahead and press out my dough. And I did get it as thin as possible because it is going to double up. And then I went ahead and took a fork and poked holes all through the dough so it didn't bubble up. Next, I added olive oil and I brushed it on, and then of course, you know, your girl is going to season everything to the gall. So I took a garlic pepper salt, and if I can find a link for it, I'll make sure I put it in the description box. Next, I put it in the oven on 400 degrees and I cooked it for about 5 minutes, and then I tested it out. I had a couple bubbles, so I popped it again with the fork and put it back in for another 5 minutes. This is the meat substitute I'm going to be using to work with my vegan oxtails. It's some stewed mutton that you can get from Lily's Pantry, and of course that link will be below. Now this does shred very easily, but when you prepare this meat, you have to do some extra work. So right now I'm cutting it into small pieces, and I'm going to add some olive oil to my always pan from our place. Link in description box because these are my new favorite pans. Okay, guys, I cannot stress that enough. Next, I'm going to take this Jamaican allspice and scallion seasoning and some vegan Worcestershire sauce, and I'm going to mix this around in the pan. So what I'm doing right now is cooking this for about 7 minutes until it's nice and crispy like this, so it does not become doughy. Next, I'm going to add more olive oil into it, and then I'm going to add in my onions, and that's a sweet onion to be exact, and some green bell pepper. Next, I'm going to give that a nice mix around and use some garlic puree, and you can easily use some cloves of garlic. And then I'm going to go ahead and scratch up my Scotch bonnet pepper. Now what I'm doing is releasing some of the heat, not all of the heat, because if you chop that bad baby up, it is going to be super duper spicy. Next, I added in some shredded carrots and my beefy onion soup mix, which is absolutely vegan. And these are the seasonings that I'm going to be using for this, and I'm leaving the measurements in this video. Okay, look at what I'm doing. Okay, this is how I measure. You see me smelling? I smell it when I know it's right. I did not cut the length of my seasoning down, so those are the measurements. So if that looks like a teaspoon, tablespoon, that's what it is. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grate my fresh ginger. And baby, have you ever just sniffed ginger? It is like the most beautiful smell of all smells. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and add in some water. Then I'll add in some vegan beef bouillon and some brown sugar. Then I'll add in some liquid smoke and some browning sauce. Okay, we are making an oxtail for real. Okay, it might be vegan, but this is how you make oxtails. I want to also add in some mushroom soy sauce that you can get from the Asian market, and I allow that to cook for about 10 minutes before I made a cornstarch slurry. And this is going to go ahead and thicken up my gravy for my oxtail. After about 2 minutes, I went ahead and removed the pan from heat, and I added in my green onions and gave it a nice stir. And I want y'all to see a nice close-up on this. This looks amazing and it tastes even better. Next, I went ahead and worked on my sauce for my pizza, and it's simply just use your favorite barbecue sauce and some jerk marinade. And I believe this brand was the I don't even know. I'll put it in the description box when I can think of it. And I went ahead and spread it across my cooked pizza dough, my power baked pizza dough. And then I added on my vegan cheese. Now I am using Vitalite cheese for this. I'm gonna tell you right now before we get to the end of this video, use a different vegan cheese because it did not do what it was supposed to do, but it does taste good. Next, I went ahead and added on my vegan oxtails, and then I added more cheese to it. And baby, don't be light on the hand, make sure it's nice and heavy hand. Add some red onions and some yellow bell pepper. I placed my pizza in the oven on 425 degrees for about 15 minutes. Next, I'm making my cilantro lime aioli sauce, and when I tell you, baby, this is a must have. I was going to make this optional, but you must have this on this pizza. This recipe is so game changing. This better be on every food truck, every blog, every all that. It should be in every non-vegan restaurant and vegan restaurant. And if it's not, you should be like, what are y'all doing? Because when I tell you, this is amazing. And of course, once it came out of the oven, I topped it with some more butter and some garlic powder. And I'm so excited to try it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's get ready to cut into this. Ooh. Ooh, sounds good. I'm a middle piece type of person when it comes to pizzas. I like the middle crust. So if that makes sense, like the middle of the pizza but with the crust. Yeah. One time through the middle. Let's cut. All right, guys, so we're complete with our oxtail pizza, okay? Vegan oxtail, no oxtail, you get it, right? Yeah. So I am getting ready to try it, and I am going to be completely honest, as I always do. I mean, there's a lot going on, a lot of different steps, but each and every step is worth it, okay? All the way down to the cilantro garlic sauce. All right, so let me grab a piece, and I didn't want to overpower it. Ooh, look at oxtail gravy just a dripping. Y'all see that? Oh, look, bottom of my crust nice and brown. And we gonna see. We got oxtail all through the sucker. All right, dum 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 dum. All right. Looks like we're gonna be sloppy. I don't drip on nobody's stuff. Yeah. This is bomb. This right here, man. This is absolutely one of my best recipes. Like, I already knew my oxtails was hitting on everything, on 1,000. This is on 1,000,000. Might as well be infinity. This is an absolutely must make. And when you do, make sure you tag me in the video. Be sure to check out my cookbooks and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. This is where you're gonna find the best vegan recipes there is. I'm Chef Joya, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Say what? It's vegan. Ciao. Oh, good. I'm going to